What is going on, everybody? Hold on one second. Okay. So happy Friday, everyone. We had an eventful night. I woke up to all kinds of chaos this morning. So here I am, a morning live. I never go live in the morning, it's always in the afternoon. So I am happy that you're all here. Let me say hello to everyone. Hello, Dodie, Victoria, Nana C. Hey, Sue, Control Girl, Yin Yang, Mo, Rosie. Welcome. I hope everyone is having lovely weather wherever you are. It is bright and sunny here for about 5 minutes, and then it gets really cloudy and it rains for a few minutes. I guess you could say my weather is kind of bipolar. And if you're not sure what bipolar is, no worries whatsoever, because Not Today in the Cray Cray will be on at some point today to give us all a lesson about bipolar. And I was going to do this, if she does this live, I hope she mentions A, B, C, and D. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let her do her thing, and then I'll correct what needs to be corrected or included. Because if you're going to get out here and start talking about mental health and things like that, you can't just cherry pick the facts that you find on Google that suit your need. I'm not even going to use the word narrative because I'm so sick of hearing it. But if it suits the story you're trying to spin, then those are going to be your talking points. I see you, girl. So after she does her bipolar lesson, I will do what needs to be done. We'll react to it together. Hello, Mom of Two. Good morning, Crime with a K. Sarah Smiles, Tattoos. So, this is going to be very off the cuff and not well thought out. Usually, I spend a few days prepping before I go live, but I don't know. With what I woke up to today, like my jaw was on the floor. And I watched everything backwards because I started with the Not Today video and I was like, oh gosh. So then that made me, I started just process of elimination and figured out what was happening. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about anything else. I don't care who is getting money from who. I don't care. We're not here to talk about that. We're going to solely focus on the fact that yet again, cRap tried to bamboozle everyone with this bullshit. Now, I am not a heartless person. I can completely sympathize and empathize with being broken and feeling hopeless and not knowing how to dig yourself out. But all of you people over there in his chat who are so quick to go point your little phalanges at everyone else, y'all need to take a seat and take some accountability. Now, I know what is her name today? Mandy Thomas. That's who she told the first responders, or I guess she told the police her name was Mandy Thomas when she called in to get cRap help last night. Sorry, you guys, I'm drinking G Fuel. So, to sit there and say that, this is everyone else's fault. Everyone was just bullying and harassing and stalking cRap. Shush. That is not even the case. People are responding and reacting to the crap he's doing online. He admitted that he raped someone 3 times. I don't know why you people will never comprehend the magnitude of what he said. I don't get it. And then he plays this game with wanting to take his life. And that is nothing to play around with. If anyone has ever lost anyone to self harm or unaliving themselves, it is the most imaginable pain you could ever experience. You spend your entire life second guessing and questioning yourself. Is there anything I could have done differently to change the situation? And you know deep down in your gut that there probably wasn't, but you still beat yourself up about it. And for a parent to lost a child in any way, shape, or form, and you should know this. That is the most unimaginable pain you could ever experience. And to be going back and forth, like, first off, Discord has been like the highlight of your life for the past 3 weeks. Yay. Yay for you, Rap. You got into a members Discord where all you got to do is spend $2 and grab the link. What a great accomplishment, considering your life is in shambles right now. But you were all about it. Oh, look what I'm seeing in Discord, you guys. Ha, 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 ha. Any of you so-called friends in his chat who care about him so much, did any of you ever tell him, look, dude, maybe you need to simmer down a little bit and let's, come up with a plan to truly help you? He's already told you guys that he has bipolar 2. And if he does, in fact, have that, then he needs to be under a doctor's care. He needs to be taking medication. He needs to be getting a sense of stability and roots in his life. He's just flying by the seat of his pants. And if y'all care about him, don't cheer him on when he's doing the dumb shit that doesn't really matter. In the end, it doesn't matter what people are saying about you in a Discord server. You already know it's probably not going to be nice. And hello, crew, you are more than welcome to be here. I know that there's some tension, as long as you're respectful and just treat everyone, as a human being the way you expect to be treated, we're good. I know that on Not Today's video, she said that she's been working hard to get him some help. And that's good. If she really is, then more power to her. But I'm not seeing it. What I'm seeing is a man spiraling further and further down, but putting on a front like everything is great. YOLO, living my best life out here. It's all about what people see on the outside, and none of y'all were seeing the signs and the symbols to let you know what was truly going on the inside. And that sucks. That's sad. Did y'all not notice that he drinks every meal of the day? Alcohol is a depressant. So when you have someone, now don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed a mimosa or two at brunch before. But lately, the only perks to being one of his members is long walks along the beach and slurred speech at the end of the night. Whining about all the things that are wrong, but you're not doing anything to make them right. So if he has a true chemical imbalance and he has a solid diagnosis of bipolar 2, then this is not the lifestyle he should be leading. And hopefully you'll go over that in your lesson about bipolar today. I hope you focus on the fact, and I'll give you this one hint, but I hope you focus on the fact that lifestyle is a big trigger for someone with bipolar. But y'all are cheering them on. You even had someone, and it was one of the last people I would have ever expected to do this. I'm not going to call her out by name because she is a sub. I just don't believe in doing that to subs. She knows who she is, and a lot of other people know who she is. But why? For the love of peanut butter and jelly, if you have someone you care about, you consider a friend, you're pro them, and you're sending them screenshots of horrific, unkind things that people are saying about them to them, well, you have a lot of weight on your shoulders too. Why would you do that? If you know that this person you're in full support of is in the shithole, basically, in any little thing, bipolar, well, y'all will learn about it. You'll learn. You don't intentionally do things that is going to trigger someone. You shouldn't do it to anyone. But this is the person that y'all are all in support of. He did no wrong whatsoever. He is such a great guy. He is a charming little shit when he wants to be. That's how it's gotten this far. Because he can smooth talk his way out of anything. And y'all aren't paying attention. It's not just about Maria or just about Smokey or just about Carissa or it's not about any one thing. It's about he is at rock bottom. If he goes any further down, he's going to be below ground level. So what are y'all doing to help him? Are you encouraging him to rent a cheaper model car and spend his time driving around looking for a job so that he can plant roots in Florida? Are you telling him to maybe put that microwave in the room to use and go buy some groceries instead of eating out every meal? As friends, are y'all telling him those things? Are you telling him that appearance doesn't matter when you're in a situation like this? Like, the mask has fallen. You can't walk that back now. And it blows my mind that you have people in that chat. And it's so weird to me. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it. And I'm not saying this because I'm on some hate train or I just don't like her no chick. But it seems so weird to me that there's one mod in particular that is just like that take charge, everyone look at me, I'm top dog. It's just weird to me because you weren't that before. To see you in the chats and you make comments every now and then and things like that, but there was like no interaction between you and anyone else in the chat, really. And yes, I commend you for getting him help because he drank whatever he drank. So you didn't see it the first time. So now that he's done it a second time, do you guys see what the real problem is here? Am I cutting out? Is that better? I'm trying to watch chat to you guys, but I'm on my phone, so I'll that they hold him in the hospital. He's exactly where he needs to be. It sucks that it took this for it to happen, But this is it. And honestly, my best advice, rap, because I know the first chance you get, you're going to be on here listening to everything that everyone has to say about you. You need to leave this shit behind. YouTube does not need to matter in your life at this point in time. Your friends should have been advising you instead of going and paying for a room at the freaking embassy suites or wherever you were staying, because you weren't with anyone. You're not with family. You're out there in a place where you have nobody. I understand taking a couple of days and collecting yourself and, regrouping after a traumatic situation. I totally get that. But you are out there living it up like you're on vacation, like this is going to be how it is till the end of time. And if what everything I've heard and read so far has been true, that you're basically a broke bitch now, what are you going to do when you leave that hospital? Is all your 7 suitcases of crap secure? I mean, you have to put all the bullshit aside at some point. Take a step back and look at yourself and say, okay, what exactly are my priorities here? Because you, little guy, about blew my mind when you got your knickers all twisted over that PS5 saying that your way to bond with your child had been taken away. Are you freaking kidding me? Because you don't have a PS5 anymore, your ability to bond with your child has been taken away. Pick up the phone and call your son. Bond with him by saying, hey, let's talk about you. You tell me how your day was. Not just your, you know, short winded, hey, how was school? Like, really get to know your child. Because when you're far away from your child, you have to do extra work to keep that bond going. Yes, Tammy Lou, he really did say that. You have a child, one out of two, possibly three, that you have the opportunity to be in his life, and they grow up quick. My middle child, today is her last day of high school, and it happened so fast. And you're wasting it. You're wasting the time. You're wasting that precious time on things like using Smokey's name to get in a Discord because you just got to know what people are saying about you. You already know everyone's pissed off at you. One of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was what other people think of me doesn't matter in the long run. It really doesn't. You pissed a lot of people off with what you did. You crossed so many lines, and at every turn, you never took accountability. And I think your buddy, Mandy Thomas, has done a live about accountability and responsibility and, harmful speech. I don't know. I was looking through her channel and I don't know. I mean, I would love the opportunity to talk to her because Lord knows I have questions, but I don't know how that would go. But then, like, I don't even know what time all this took place. I'm guessing in the wee hours of the morning, around like between 12 and 3, I guess. But after the goodbye live, and then just the ellipsis live of getting loaded into the ambulance and all that. You still had to do another, like, what I would have done, because I had no way of knowing what her mindset was like or anything. She said she was pretty unnerved and all that, but whatever. Um, my mindset wouldn't have been to immediately jump on a live stream and pat myself on the back like that. Any people that needed to know what was going on, you could have sent out a group text, you could have done all that. But the same ones over there squawking about this should have never been brought here and all that crap. Well, you just brought that here. You made it a big, dramatic, yay, I did all this good stuff. I came in and saved the day for rap. You got him in a safe place because now he has a place to sleep, hopefully for at least 72 hours. But then what? Are one of y'all going to take him in and help get him on his feet? Be the good friends that all of y'all are claiming to be. Someone take the time to sit down with him and say, hey, quit wasting money on gas, driving around town where you really have nothing to do except go and sit and get drunk. And then to put that freaking cherry right on the top, you guys are all, take us to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Let's go drive around after you've been drinking. Yay, stripper poles. That's what you guys sound like over there. You're so scattered and doing all the wrong things while you're sitting there claiming to be doing all the right things. You guys had to have hear how bad he was slurring his speech the other night when he was like walking around at night. I don't remember. I don't know. It was before he got to the point of just always being on camera. Like all we would see is his legs, feet, and shadow. Like you guys, I saw maybe two people in his chat tell him not to drive. And he was like, oh, I'm fine, you guys, I'm fine. Look, I can walk a line. Well, we all heard about how you fell asleep snuggled up to the toilet because you got super wasted off of a couple of beers. And hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm a lightweight too. Wondering, I'm snoring. I just can't drink, It does me in. So if you're in a place where you have no friends, you have no family, you have no roots, you have no stability, and you owe all this money in back child support, and you just had this horrible breakup, you're being, confronted about some horrible things that you admitted to, and people aren't very fond of you, this is the last place you need to be. And all of your friends over there in your chat cheering you on, they need to be the ones telling you these things. Because, in my opinion, that's what being a good friend is. Yes, Sarah Smiles. Stop drunk driving and take Uber. Rap for the 973rd time. I'm literally going to school to be a death investigator because my brother-in-law was hit and killed by a drunk 17-year-old kid who got a slap on the wrist and walked away because it was shitty investigative work. So I made the decision to put my nosy nature and my inquisitive mind and all of that to good use and went back to school at 47. And I know you sit here and you're like, oh, if I'm ever 50 years old and still on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Buddy, half the people in your chat are 50 years old. And you keep making fun of Kemper because he works at Applebee's. You haven't had a job in 10 years. You haven't had a legit paying job where you get a paycheck and you pay taxes and you do all that great stuff in 10 years. So, as your friend, I would tell you rent the cheaper model car, come up with a game plan every morning, get up, get showered, get dressed, all that good stuff, and like make a sensitive plan, like something that makes sense. Make a big square around town and fill out a bunch of applications. Hell, these days you can pretty much do any job application online. Very few places take paper applications. But you're not doing that. You're driving around aimlessly, blasting really bad music. And when you sit there and like think about the lyrics, like there's obviously a problem. You guys didn't notice it going downhill? I mean, it blows my mind that all of you are all worked up about this and have the audacity to turn it around and try to blame everyone else for picking on Rap and calling him out for raping someone. And he keeps saying, oh, I don't really owe 15K in child support. You're the one that said it, Rap. You said it. We didn't just open a fortune cookie and 15,000 came out and that's the number we went with. We didn't just spin the little thing on the gumball machine and a rape accusation popped out. You admitted to that 3 separate times. So nobody's mistreating you. Nobody's mistreating you when you keep playing on people's emotions and every time, you get backed into a corner or something, you pull the I'm going to hurt myself hard. That was literally one of the biggest problems that people had with you was the fact that not only did you rape her, but you also had complete disregard for the fact that she had already lost a husband to suicide. And that was your go-to to manipulate her. People were already pissed off at you, and you thought it would be a good idea to do it again. Look, you guys, I'm going to show you this antifreeze or whatever. I didn't even get to watch all of it because I was listening and I was so angry. But you're just like, I'm going to drink this up. And yes, people in the Discord made some unkind comments. That's how they feel. And I know you guys are like, oh, well, it's a big, huge crime if you tell someone to do that to themselves and they do it. Yes, people have been prosecuted for situations like that. We've all heard the story about that girl who was like texting her boyfriend and, just kept egging him on and telling him to do it, that he would be so much better off and blah, blah, blah. It happens. But here's the thing. Whether or there where the defense is going to get you is over the fact that, one, if those were screenshots taken and sent to him, they have that in favor, and whoever sent those screenshots could be in trouble too. People are pissed. People speak their minds. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything that everyone says, especially in the heat of the moment. That is not what I'm saying whatsoever. But people do say things out of anger. That's the way life is. Now, I would give a huge side eye of like someone directly texted something like that to someone that they knew to be in crisis. It's a slippery slope. But there are bigger things at play here. You can't blame everyone else for the fact that you won't get off your ass and do anything more productive with your own life that you have control over. You're the boss of you. Legally, you're a grown up. The world is your oyster. And you're literally stuck in the same spot you were at 3 weeks ago. And you people, as his friends, should have been doing better. So you guys can play the blame game and point your fingers and all of that. I've made smart ass comments. I am not going to deny that whatsoever. Many times in that Discord, I shot right the middle finger. Told him he could fuck all the way off a couple of times. Also gave him some legal advice in there too. He doesn't show those screenshots though. Gave little scenarios, kind of laying it all out in different situations and telling you step by step what the outcome could be. But no, all that crap goes ignored because the only stuff that's important is when he wants to say, look how mean they are to me. You got off easy after what you did. And you can sit there and say, well, even if we don't like him, he's someone's son. Yes, he is someone's son. And he's someone's brother. And he could possibly be someone's uncle, someone's cousin, someone's grandson. He's supposed to be your friend, right? You're such great friends. Love, love, love. But he also has other people who used to consider him their daily internet friend, They were in full support. Not all of them are shits and giggles and not about not being able to support him anymore. He hurt a lot of people too who didn't deserve it. Nobody deserves to sit there and hear someone claiming to be doing something to harm themselves or unalive themselves and go through that torment of not being able to jump through your device and do something to try to help. Nobody deserves to go through that. And he's done it twice now. 2 times. Maybe it's a cry for help. Maybe he just wants people to feel sorry for him because now he's out of money. He's not going to have a place to stay. He's not going to have a way to drive around. We saw how much he would drink on camera. And although it doesn't look like a lot, we don't know how much he's drinking behind the scenes. Because I have to wonder, for someone who has nothing going on in their life other than YouTube, like they have YouTube in one hand and then in the other hand, all of life's problems are just stacking up one on top of the other. So I can't help but wonder what he does with his time. Is it my business? No. Is that going to stop me from being curious? No. Because all I've seen is wake up, come online and, poke fun at people and say, aha, look what I did. You guys are so triggered, blah, 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 blah. And eating and drinking, and then don't hear from you for a little while. And then you just come on again and do the same thing. Like, what do you do with your time in between? You don't have a job to go to. You don't have any friends to go visit where you're at. You can't play the PlayStation. I mean, what do you do? Because to me, it seems like you spend all of your free time either texting, emailing, or talking to people on the phone about YouTube stuff, or you're going around listening to everything that's said about you, or sneaking around in people's discords. Which, y'all, Discord is just not everything that people tell you it is. It's like one big group chat, basically. I can trust you. I can tell you, in all honesty, nobody is in there trying to formulate a plan to take out humanity. None of that's happening. I mean, I posted a picture of baby birds yesterday, for Pete's sake. But there are people in that Discord that do not feel comfortable around someone like Rap. And they have every right to feel that way. I mean, he's already got 2 strikes with me. Because as someone who's gone through SA and rape, I don't feel comfortable around him. I don't feel comfortable watching this person self-destruct before my eyes, though. And you friends are just letting it happen. And then you want to come on the heels of it and be like, "Oh, look what everybody did to poor Rap. Look what Rap did to poor Rap. He is a grown man." Numerically, like chronologically, he's of age. But he needs help. He has a lot of growing up to do. And it's time. If you care anything about him, you need to quit buying into the bullshit, quit encouraging it. And just like he did with Mama T when they were going to help her get a place and all of that, and get on her feet, all she had to do was show that she was doing something for herself. That's all that they asked for. I didn't think it was out of line. I just did it because, if someone is going to take that leap of faith on you and go to such lengths to help you improve your life when they really have no reason to, they don't know you, then it shouldn't be a problem to be proud and say, look what I'm doing to help myself. And I appreciate you so much for getting me halfway there. I don't think that's out of line. A lot of people thought it was, but hey, Jackie. Hey, Constance, Erica, Truth Hurts, anyone who has come in. Hello. I'm sorry. I'm not really watching chat this morning. I told you guys I was not prepared for this. But if you guys want to help him monetarily, don't just send a super chat because you can say some smart ass comment. Why don't you give him some stipulations? Mandy Thomas, you said that he was like one of your sons. Well, when my kids need help from me, my grown ones, like my 18-year-old, my 20-year-old, there's there's always going to be some strings attached, right? As a parent, I will always help them because they're my child and I want to do that for them when I'm able. But it's an understanding that they're not going to just get a handout. If I see them slacking off and not, following through with their responsibilities and their duties and things like that, like, don't go spend all your money on makeup and stuff for your car and then come to me and ask for help for your phone bill, because it's not going to happen. Your friend has been getting berated and slammed for 3 weeks over the fact that he admitted on 3 separate occasions that he raped someone. It's not our fault. How do y'all deal with it? You go you go live right after and like make jokes about it. Stripper poles and nipple tassels and all that stuff. It's just so weird to me. When you're caught up in some essay controversy and you're like, I don't know, it's just not a good look. I am going to read some comments. Kara, I saw you in here earlier. If you're still in here, miss you, love you. Let's see. Hey, giving payback. Yes, the reality of all of it being overlooked. It's mind boggling. Someone who is suffering from bipolar 2 does not need to be out there drinking at all hours of the day and night, especially when they're alone. Because when you're alone and you're going through something tough, like, all you have is the thoughts in your head. Like, you are the only person you have to talk to. He has all these internet friends that, should be giving him all of this solid support and advice. But this is where we are. Let's see. Truth Hurts. Hello. I don't remember if I said hello. Crew, again, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. I don't really know what the controversy is with you. I know that you've made some comments. We all make comments that are, sometimes all of us can be pretty vicious in our comments, but you got to understand where it comes from. This is frustrating to watch all this crap go down day in, day out. Whew, it takes a lot out of you. If you have any kind of heart and compassion at all, then you can't say in all honesty that this doesn't affect you. It has to. Like, it has to affect you. To see someone get to this point in their life and it be so apparent how miserable they are, but yet they don't do anything to improve it. So that speaks volumes to me. That tells me that it's probably not bipolar 2. But I'm not a doctor. I do know that you can go online and you can take a 3 minute, or if you have a little more time, you can take a 5 minute online quiz to find out if you too have bipolar disorder. That's the thing when it comes to, like, I'm sorry, you guys, my allergies are acting up. There's a lot of people get diagnosed with something on YouTube, right? Like, someone doesn't like you, and so they like start matching up all these symptoms and characteristics, and then, by the time you get to an end of an online argument, you've got 4 or 5 different diagnoses from all of these YouTube psychiatrists. But that's really, when it comes to things like that, time will tell. That's why I say he should be under a doctor's care, because you have to have, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak preview to the bipolar lesson for the day. In most cases, you have to have like a mania phase 3 times before they actually diagnose you with bipolar. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but a lot of the testing for these type of things, you have to be honest. You have to be honest with your doctor and tell them how you're really feeling. Because you could walk away being treated for something that maybe you don't have. So you're not going to get any better. It's a tricky situation when you're dealing with mental health, because not everything is obvious like some different illnesses and problems. Let's see. Okay, Truth Hurt says, have a great day. And in my opinion, taking part in these lives, whether it's his or others, I feel it's keeping him here and keeping him relevant. Supporting or not, it's still keeping him here. Yeah, it does keep him here because, like I said, he wants to know what people are saying about him. But on the other hand, talking about it is allowing other people to have the opportunity to maybe tell a little bit of their story, or open up about something, or see something about themselves that they need to work on. It's doing a lot of good things too. Rap is an adult. He needs to be the one to take the responsibility and make the decision to log off. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Kel says, we were supporting and caring for an illusion. I'm too tired to endure much more. I shed my last tears last night. Yeah, it's sad. It is sad because you can see a glimpse of the potential of what could be with him. I mean, he was blessed with a son, 2 sons, and possibly a third. So he's already 3 steps ahead of a lot of people. He is able-bodied, and other than, some underlying, probably mental things going on. And I'm not saying that he's just a crazy person, you know. He's been through crap in his life just like the rest of us. I feel, like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anything like that. But I feel that Rap is stuck at an age he was at when he had a traumatic experience in his life. I feel like he is kind of stuck there. Um, I feel that maybe one of the reason his go-to is to immediately go to self-harm is maybe because of what happened to his baby brother. He felt like because he's already admitted that he felt like, he blamed himself, or felt like if he would have just gotten up, and I'm saying this because, like, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, when he said these things, he meant it. Because you got to remember, the other night when he was talking about his brother, he was a little tipsy. And I've already told y'all that alcohol is a truth serum. And so maybe, you know, that's why he goes to that. Because maybe when he was younger, he would act out like that because he wanted some attention. I don't know. Giving Payback says, yes, 100%. He's a manipulative abuser and a sociopath. People that claim to care need to hear his admitting things and then see how he is manipulating someone. That won't make her want it back. No, it won't. Or want him back. See, SG, I don't. I mean, I heard him gulping something, and then, like, by the end of his life, he was like really slurry sounding, and I don't know. And Rob, you need to take into consideration, like, my psychology class, okay? You have to take so many psych credits as an elective. And so I took psychology and how it pertains to death and the grieving process, because that kind of goes along with, being a death investigator. You need to really, I feel that in order to do my best work, I will need to, like, feel the entire situation. It's hard to explain, but, like, you have to understand when you're dealing with a victim's family and helping them through that process and understand, what their loved one went through. You got to be able to understand what they're going through too. Plus, I've had loss in my life. I lost my dad and my brother-in-law 3 weeks apart. My mom's gone. So it's a lot. But we had to write an essay about an experience in our life where something from the class, would have been helpful. So it was a fun little essay. But right, when you do things like unalive yourself, it's someone like me that will be going there to try to put the pieces together and find out why. And it's hard. It's really hard. So when you do things like that, it doesn't affect just you and those people that are immediately in your life. You got to think about the poor housekeeper that would have found you. They have to live with that forever. And you people sitting in the chat cheering him on should have been telling him all these things. Y'all should have been telling him to quit getting drunk morning, noon, and night. Quit coming on here and joking about sex and stuff after you've just been called out for raping someone. Quit coming on here with the Poor Pitiful Me song, wanting everyone to feel sorry for you because you messed up. You single-handedly messed up your life. And you want to blame everyone else. This is YouTube. It's not that serious. I'm gonna read some more comments. Are y'all getting bored yet? I hate not being prepared. Da, 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 da. Okay, SG. These were way back, y'all. I'm scrolling way back. SG says, I still want to hear from Smokey, see if she's talking to him, and see what she wants all of us to do for sure. Yeah, it would be good to have her input, like, because yesterday he was leading people to believe that, there was a possibility they could get back together. And it was so crazy to watch because you could see people in the chat that at one time were saying things like, should have removed herself. She should have gotten out of the bed, or she should have not been wearing her robe around him, or she should have kicked him out long ago. Saying things like that about her, blaming her for what happened. Then they turn around and say, "Oh, hey, Smokey, hope you're having an amazing day." I'm like looking all through the chat. She's not even there. But because y'all had been led to believe that there was a possibility they were getting back together, y'all just assumed that she was in the background listening or something. Not in the background, like physically in the background, but I mean, like listening on her own, like she used to do before she actually became active in the chats. And I think it's kind of twisted to use her name to sneak into the Discord. Like, I just think that's in poor taste. So I mean, I'll ask you guys, if you were sitting in his chat, if you were one of his supporters, what would you guys advise him to do? Like, what would be your suggestion of getting himself out of this situation? No, Kels, I don't think Smokey would expose her children to him again either. No way, no how. Like, why would she do that? Why would she intentionally put her children in a situation where they could possibly have to feel another loss, after becoming attached? That's a lot for a child to lose their father and then open up and allow someone to come into their life and kind of fill that void, right? Because they get the father like type influence from other areas like coaches or teachers or counselors, other people in their life, friends from church, grandparents, all that stuff. But it's different when you have someone actually coming and living in your space, your little bubble, and they're kind of taking on that role, and children get attached. So no, I don't think she would put her kids through that. He would go from this little meek voice to a normal voice in his life. It was obvious he was manipulating. Yes, I noticed that too. Cruz says, "Chasing justice. Thank you. I agree with a lot of what you were saying, and I appreciate you having me. I shouldn't be shunned because I don't like a certain creator on here and on who I watch. Have a good day." I don't operate like that, crew. I'm accepting of everyone being here as long as they treat other people in my chat with respect. Just got to be adults. All the other strife and crap between people, that'll all work itself out. Emotions are high right now. And it's because of this up and down crap. Rap did a lot of dirty shit to people. He's not innocent. You're welcome, Kels. Giving payback says, "Can y'all even begin to imagine what a strong woman Smokey is overall? After all she has been through in real life and now having to deal with all of this, she needs major support." Yes, she does need major support. And on the banner, if you'll notice, I put a Cash App. It's not mine. But I noticed last night Maria was on a panel, and I don't know if there's something particular that's going on with her or if people were just wanting to support her. But for today, if you feel compelled to donate to anyone or anything, Maria's Cash App is $Marmar496. Go ahead and, send her a buck or two. Show her some love. She is the woman who is raising Rap's child because he is not compelled to put on his big boy pull up and be a father. I do hope Smokey's okay. Yes, I think when the dust settles, we'll all be able to, find common ground. Welcome 1-800 Fraudbusters 2.0. You lurk and listen before I say something. Yep, I lurk a lot too. I just want to get information firsthand. I don't want to, have to rely on someone relaying the information and possibly just getting something twisted. And then it looks like they told me something wrong and I'm flying off the handle for no reason. I just like to get it firsthand. I like to do my own research. That's what I was trying to tell Mama T the other day. Like, you got to stop this. Just stop. So he's at the hospital. Um, I don't think, he admitted to drinking the stuff to paramedics, so they're going to hold him. I used to live in Jacksonville. I lived in the Jacksonville Mayport area. There's a naval base in Mayport, and they take mental health issues very seriously there. So, and if he does lose all of his stuff, all his belongings, then, he's even worse off than he was before. I don't, he's not one of my favorite people. I don't condone what he did whatsoever. I think that, he can play it off all he wants, but he still has a lot of humbling himself and apologizing that he needs to do. But dear Lord, I don't want him to walk around life naked. Oof. Yes, and if he's held, she don't have to worry about him harming himself for a few days. Yeah, that's another thing. You can't sit there and try to convince everyone that you had this great, amazing conversation and you saw the error of your ways and you were able to apologize for everything when you completely disregarded her feelings and went and did the same thing again just a few hours later. I didn't even have a chance this morning to sift through everything and find out exactly what set him off. Was there something that happened that put him in that headspace? Oh, Sarah smiles. They're gonna look. I'm gonna try to show this from. I don't know. On my phone, it says star the comment, whatever that means. But Sarah Smile says that Maria is wanting to do a fun Mother's Day with her son alone for the first year. See, that's sad to me. Because even though she and Rap aren't together, I always I always like to see when adults can put aside their differences, like for Mother's Day and Father's Day, and just come together and celebrate each other, at least, for that one day out of the year, even if they're not together anymore, don't get along, because it's important for the child. But, I know it's not always possible. All right, Constance Sue, have a good day. I'll see you later. He said Smokey FaceTimed him and said no chance of getting back together. Oh. Yeah, I do need to watch all 3 of his last lives because I was so busy last night. I didn't even know all of this was going on. Like I said, today was my daughter's last day of school ever. I think she's going to take the summer semester off with me. And, we're just going to do some fun stuff. My youngest is going to go visit family in North Carolina for the summer. She's not going to be here all summer. That's so sad to me. She's Spitfire. She is definitely a miniature version of me, except way more vocal about her opinions. She doesn't have a filter. She was born without one. Um But yeah, she'll be gone all summer. So I was busy getting stuff done for the daughter that's graduating and stuff like that. So I missed it all. I have to play catch up. Yeah, I usually listen to everything a couple of times too, just because I sometimes I'm just like, did I seriously just hear that? And then other times I'm like, just wanting to make sure I got it right. It was all at 3, 4, and 5 a.m. Good gracious. Like I was waking up as all of this stuff was winding down. But I guess I will get off of here, let everyone go because I really don't know what else I could say right now. It'll it never fails though. As soon as I end the live, like I think of stuff that I meant to say and forgot about. But there's always another day because I'm sure I will be coming on to talk about the bipolar lesson. And it's not because I want to make her look dumb or correct everything she says. I mean, she may come out and hit every nail on the head and tell you every important detail. And then I'll come on and say kudos to you. But I mean, this is a serious issue. This isn't something to take lightly and just come on here and talk for the sake of talking. If there is something seriously wrong with him, then that's the life of someone in the palm of all of our hands, and you need to be careful. If he's just a manipulative little shit, then everyone else needs to be careful because anyone can be a target. Like, if he's your friend and you care about him on any level other than just being in his chat and supporting him, then be a friend. Be honest with him and tell him this is not good. What you're doing is not good. It's not going to help you. Like at some point, the vacation has to end and you have to take steps to move forward with your life. But just jumping up and hightailing it to Florida and then putting on a front like you've got it all going on is not the way, because it's gotten him further down than where he was before. So in other words, he lied again because he said she had invited him back home, and they believed that. The rest of us were knowing better. Yeah. Like she's already made it clear that it's not an option. She's concerned for her children's well-being first off, and then she's concerned for her own well-being. The things he did is not okay. I don't care how many ways he tries to spin it or how many different colorful versions or giggles he used to try to explain it. What he did was not okay. So the sooner they all accept that, then that'll probably open the doorway for them to be more honest, real, caring friends. Yeah, when he was going live and flashing that ring and singing that song, it's just like, I don't know. But I appreciate all of you coming and listening to me rant for an hour. It's an hour and 9 minutes that you can't give back. Sorry if you were bored. But, I kind of like just coming live at the drop of a hat and not being prepared. It's kind of fun. It is time for someone to be humble and sit down. But it is Friday, Cinco de Drinko, unless your name is Rap. No, it's Cinco de Mayo. I am going to be making carne asada tacos tonight because any excuse I have to drink tacos is a good day in my mind. So if you do go out and celebrate, please drink responsibly. Don't do like Rap. Even if it's just a fruity little drink, because on occasions like Cinco de Mayo and things like that, when people go out to restaurants, it's typical for bartenders to be a little more generous with their pours because they get better tips. Just a little helpful hint for you guys. But seriously, drive safe out there. Don't drink and drive. You could hurt yourself or someone else. And remember to always hug your loved ones. Tomorrow is never promised. And I will be talking to all you guys very soon. Monday, we're going to pick back up with Ernie Shell, Tiger on the Run. So have a great weekend, everyone. And I will see all of you guys out here.